Mathematics is not about numbers, equations, computations, or algorithms. It is about understanding. So let's learn and enjoy mathematics. Our lesson is about angles formed by chords, seconds, and tangents. Our objectives is to find the measures of an angle determined by chords, seconds, or tangents. In this figure, that is inscribed angle. To solve, we need to use the inscribed angle theorem. It means the measure of the inscribed angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of the intercepted arc. So the formula, the measure of the angle ABC is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc AC. What if the arc AC is the unknown? So we need to derive the formula. So let us multiply both sides by 2. If we multiply both sides by 2, so this become the measure of the arc AC is equal to twice the measure of the angle ABC. As you can see in the figure, the angle ABC is equal to 60 degrees. So let us solve the measure of the arc AC. So measure of the arc AC is equal to 2 times 60 degrees. 2 times 60 degrees is equal to 120 degrees. So the measure of the arc AC is equal to 120 degrees. As you can see in the figure, we have the second line, that is line RC, and a tangent line, that is line AB. In theorem number 1, if a secant and a tangent intersect, so this one intersect at point R on the circle, the measure of each angle formed is equal to 1/2 the measure of its intercepted arc. So the formula is like inscribed angle theorem. So it means the measure of the angle CRB is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc CR. So what if the measure of the angle ARC? So the measure of the angle ARC is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc RBC. So let us find the measure of the angle EAB. We all know that the circle is equal to 360 degrees. So it means the formula, the measure of the arc EA plus the measure of the arc EBA is equal to 360 degrees. So let us replace the arc EA, so that is equal to 80 degrees. The rest copy. And then afterwards, let us solve for the measure of the arc EDA. So the measure of the arc EDA, bring down 360 degrees. 80 degrees going to right, change the sign. So that becomes negative 80 degrees. 360 degrees minus 80 degrees, the answer is equal to 280 degrees. So the measure of the arc EDA is equal to 280 degrees. How about the measure of the angle EAB? So the formula, that is 1/2 the measure of the arc EDB. So let us replace 1/2 times 280 degrees. So 1/2 times 280 degrees, or 280 degrees divided by 2, the answer is equal to 140 degrees. So the measure of the angle EAB is equal to 140 degrees. In theorem number 2, as you can see in the figure, we have the two chords, that is segment AB and segment CB. If two chords intersect, then the measure of the angle is formed equal to 1/2 the sum of the measure of the two arcs intercepted by the angle and its vertical angle. So it means if the measure of the angle CEB is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc AB plus the measure of the arc CB. What if angle 1? So this one. So to identify the measure of the angle 1, 1/2 the measure of the arc AB plus the measure of the arc CB. So as you can see, this is the vertical angle. Angle 1 and then angle CEB is a vertical angle. As you can see, we have the same formula. So what if we need to identify the angle 2? Angle 2 is inscribed angle. So inscribed angle, we need to use the formula for the inscribed angle theorem. So it means the measure of the angle 2 is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc AB. What if we need to identify the angle 3? So angle 3 is inscribed angle, so it means 1/2 the measure of the arc CB. So let us apply. In the figure, let us identify the angle 1, the angle 2, and the angle 3. The measure of the arc AB is equal to 150 degrees, while the measure of the arc BC is equal to 20 degrees. So let us solve. So first, we need to solve the measure of the angle 1. So we need to add arc AB plus the arc BC divided by 2. So let us add. So if we add 150 degrees plus 20 degrees, the answer is equal to 170 degrees. 170 degrees times 1/2 or 170 degrees divided by 2. So the answer is equal to 85 degrees. So the measure of the angle 1 is equal to 85 degrees. How about we need to identify the measure of the angle 2? So angle 2 is an inscribed angle. So angle 2 is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc AB. Arc AB is equal to 150 degrees. Divided by 2, the answer is equal to 75 degrees. So let us proceed to the measure of the angle 3. So 1/2 the measure of the arc BC. So it means arc BC is 20 degrees. So 20 divided by 2, the answer is equal to 10 degrees. So the measure of the angle 3 is equal to 10 degrees. As you can see, in theorem number 2, we have in a case 1, 2 seconds, in a case 2, a secant and a tangent, and a case 3, 2 tangents. All intersection is outside the circle. So it means the formula now is the measure of the angle formed is equal to 1/2 the difference of the measure of the intercepted arc. So kung nasa outside, minus. Kung nasa inside ang intersection, that is plus. So let us apply. As you can see in the figure, in theorem number 3, that is case 1, 2 seconds intersecting outside the circle. So, intersect outside the circle, that is secant AC and secant AD. So, if we need to identify the formula, so the measure of the angle CAD is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc CD minus the measure of the arc BE. As you can see in the figure, arc CD is equal to 120 degrees. Arc BE is unknown, and angle CAD is equal to 50 degrees. So let us replace 50 degrees, copy 1/2, arc CD is 120 degrees, minus the measure of the arc BE. So multiply both sides by 2, so that becomes 100 degrees. So to this one, so cancel 2 and 2, so that becomes 120 degrees minus the measure of the arc BE. And let us solve for the measure of the arc BE. So this one going to left side, that becomes positive. Bring down 120 degrees. Positive 100 going to right, change the sign, that becomes negative 100 degrees. 120 degrees minus 100 degrees, the answer is equal to 20 degrees. So the measure of the arc BE is equal to 20 degrees. In theorem number 3, case 2, a secant and a tangent. So secant line is the line BC and a tangent line is line AD. So the measure of the angle CAD is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc CD minus the arc BD. So if we apply, it is the same with case number 1. So the arc AFD is equal to 160 degrees and the measure of the arc BD is equal to 62 degrees. So let us find the angle 1 or the angle DCA. So the measure of the angle 1 is equal to 1/2 times 160 degrees minus 62 degrees. 160 degrees minus 62 degrees is equal to 98 degrees. 1/2 times 98 degrees is equal to 49 degrees. So the measure of the angle 1 is equal to 49 degrees. In case number 3, two tangents intersecting outside the circle. So the two tangents are line AB and then line AD. So the measure of the angle BAD is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc BCD minus the measure of the arc BD. So if we apply, the measure of the angle ABC is equal to 235 degrees. The measure of the arc CA is equal to 125 degrees. So let us find the value of the angle CEA. CEA is unknown. So 1/2, copy measure of the angle CEA, copy 1/2. The arc ABC is equal to 235 degrees. And then the measure of the arc CA is equal to 125 degrees. 235 degrees minus 125 degrees, the answer is equal to 110 degrees. 1/2 times 110 is equal to 55 degrees. So the measure of the angle CEA is equal to 55 degrees. So let us practice what you have learned about the chords, seconds, and tangents. Instruction: given the circle G, identify the unknown. And then let us complete the table. Provide your answers in the comment section. Enjoy learning mathematics. I'm Teresa Tubal. Thank you so much.